Hi guys, welcome back to the People's Duchess. Thank you so much for joining me. If you are here for the first time, a special shout out and welcome to all of my subscribers. I am super duper happy to get to this particular episode, and I know I say that all the time, but the fact of the matter is doing this channel makes me very happy. Fashion makes me happy, shoes, clothes, the seasons changing. I love all of that. And there's no better person that's really representative of that girl in fashion than Meghan Markle. Whether it's her street style or her royal style or her post-royal style, it is just all so good. And I'm really glad that I've found a niche where I can really express that, but also touch on the things that I like to talk about otherwise. And I may make light of some heavy topics with humor because I handle things like that with humor, but I am really glad that you guys are along this journey with me. All right, so I loved this tour. I want to cover the Royal Tour of Oceania, or the Royal Tour Down Under, or Royal Tour Australia, whatever you guys want to call it. We are going to cover every one of her fashion looks. She had just gotten married. She was literally a newlywed, and they had just their honeymoon, and then off they were working. She didn't have any downtime. She didn't get years to practice or assimilate or get comfortable or anything. And I'm pretty sure that she wanted it that way. I think that Meghan is a doer. She's not someone who would like to just kind of sit around and wave her hand. She likes to put her thumbprint on things. She likes to really be involved. We got a glimpse of this on the Reitman's campaign where she was literally with the designers at the table sketching things out. She's a hands-on kind of person. So it makes sense, and it would be right up her alley to say, oh no, yeah, I can definitely do this royal tour, sure. So she's doing the royal tour. Right when they land, they were coming out of the airport, getting into their vehicles, and she had those big binders in her hand, and it was just like, Meghan, girl, such a good moment. But yeah, she had the whole world speculating until they finally just went ahead and confirmed it. So she and Prince Harry embarked on their royal tour. This was October 16th through the 31st, and they visited Australia, Fiji, the Kingdom of Tonga, and New Zealand. And then they had an education and service-based itinerary centered around environmental conservation, youth leadership, and rehabilitation for servicemen and women. So of course, these are causes that are very near and dear to them. And again, I could see Meghan totally immersing herself in this and saying, oh yeah, I'm there. So without further ado, let's get into the fashion. So first up is this beautiful white dress that she started off the tour in Sydney. It's by Australian designer Karen Gee. And then she paired it with nude Stuart Weitzman pumps, Princess Diana heirloom jewelry. This is a structured, professional dress, hair perfect, makeup beautiful. It was just a really complimentary dress. She knows what flatters her figure. She knows what she looks good in. I really appreciated the subtle nod to Diana here. She was just absolutely stunning in this. Later on, we get that gorgeous editorial shot where they're walking down the stairs, and I think this is the shot of the entire tour. This picture was used in their Harry and Meghan documentary, and obviously I'm not the only person that was in awe of it. They looked like two models. This looked like a Gucci ad with Harry just equally looking stunning. I mean, look at him. She added a spring 2019 trench coat from another Australian label, Martin Grant. She did momentarily swap out the nude Weitzman pumps for Rothy's signature pointy toe flats while going to and from different engagements. Very smart to bring those shoes and change out of them so that she can be functional while she's doing her engagements. Because, you know, this is a woman who works. She's not there for the photo op. She is there for the actual work of it all. That evening, Meghan attended a reception hosted by the Governor General of Australia. She wore a pleated skirt shirt dress from Brandon Maxwell and Tamara Mellon heels. I didn't quite understand the cut of this dress at the top. But I later came to really appreciate how unique and beautiful it was. She pulled her hair back, and this was just really a beautiful picture here. She's just absolutely stunning. I, again, thought that this dress was an interesting and unique cut. It's just this V part with the sleeves and the neckline, the collar, I just wasn't sure at first. How she styled the dress itself won me over. Next up, we have the second day of the tour, which they landed in Debo. She donned a much more casual outfit for the second day. It was a Maison Kitsune blouse, Outland denim jeans, J. Crew boots, and a blazer from her friend Serena Williams' brand. Very chic, but dressed appropriately for the occasion. They were meeting people on farmland, and obviously you have to wear functional clothes for that. The white shirt stuck out because obviously it's a white shirt, but nobody pulls off white shirt like Meghan. Day 3, they were in Melbourne, and she wore this asymmetrical hem Dion Lee dress with matching navy Manolo Blahnik pumps. She later threw on her Martin Grant trench coat and added a Gucci clutch for that walkabout. Harry looked amazing here too, wearing a matching blue suit and light blue tie. It was very much coordinated, and I love that they do this couples coordinated type of thing here. They do it so well. It's not over the top, it's not flagrant, it's usually very subtle. Like when Harry had that green satin sewn into the underside of his coat so that he would match her green Amelia Wickstead dress on their farewell tour. I think it was a Commonwealth Day service, the last Commonwealth Day service. They do matchy-matchy coupley so well, and I absolutely love that about them. The Duke and Duchess then headed down to South Melbourne Beach. She changed into a Club Monaco dress and her trusty Rothy's flats. This was a really lovely black simple dress. It had buttons down the side. She had her tan Martin Grant coat along with it. This is what I was talking about in my last video. This is style. This is how you style things. You can take the same Martin Grant coat, wear it on a white dress that's very professional, turn around and wear it on less professional, more business casual attire. And then you can turn around and wear it with this nice little, fun Club Monaco dress and flats, and it's perfectly fine too. At the beach, she then changed into a Martin Grant maxi dress, and this is probably one of her most notable dresses just because of the patterning being so unique. Absolutely stunning hair, and I did love this dress. I think it's fun. It's playful. It's everything she needed it to be for that particular occasion for the beach. So Harry and Meghan then visited an all-girls school, and she wore this sleeveless, color-blocked Roxana dress and her Stuart Weitzman pumps. I love this dress. I think it is understated, and I think that this dress has been slept on. I have not ever seen two more photogenic people ever. I would say that Diana was like that, but her significant other was not photogenic. Charles, bless his heart, looks a little bit like an earthworm. It is what it is. It is what it is. Okay, don't come for me. You guys know he is not attractive. All right, period. I'm not trying to make fun of him, but as a couple, she was the beauty to his earthworm Jim. On the 5th day of their tour, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex officially helped open Sydney's Anzac Memorial, which is a tribute to fallen Australian and New Zealand soldiers. And for the occasion, Meghan stepped out in an Amelia Wickstead dress, and she paired it with a black Philip Treacy fascinator. Girl, oof, she knew exactly what she was doing in this dress. I don't have any notes. Everything. The semi-umpire waist, the buttons down the front, the sleeves with the fascinator, with the little clutch. If I'm not mistaken, this is the same clutch that she wore to the New Zealand Memorial when that Christchurch tragedy happened. If you've clocked this purse, let me know in the comments below. So then we had some Invictus activities. The Duchess of Sussex wore a white Altuzarra blazer over black Invictus Games shirt and skinny jeans. Even though she was doing work casual, she still looked very chic. It looks like she's wearing her trusty Aquazzura de Nuevo heels in black. Beautiful. Then they had the opening ceremony at the Sydney Opera House, and Meghan showed up in this lovely Stella McCartney cape dress. This is a rewear from the Queen's 92nd birthday celebrations the previous year. She topped the look off with a coat by Gillian Anderson for Windsor, London, and a pair of Stuart Weitzman heels. Quiet luxury, elegance. This whole look was just top tier. All right, so after getting a little bit of much needed rest on Sunday morning, Meghan then joined Prince Harry for a lunchtime reception hosted by the Prime Minister with the Invictus Games competitors and community representatives in Sydney. She was sporting a beautiful La Gens white pinstripe linen and cotton blazer over a black turtleneck and her trusty black Outland jeans. It all just worked. It worked so well. And she, again, knows how to pair pieces well. This was a capsule wardrobe moment and it was done brilliantly. So for a sailing event during the Invictus Games, the Duchess of Sussex shows us why she's the queen of dressed down glam. She had on some black jeans, an official jacket, and Veja sneakers. These sneakers have now become quite popular with the rest of the royals. So this is just a straight up sporting event. There was no fuss about the fashion here. So moving right along, they then went to a Fraser Island walkabout, and this particular event gave us some of the cutest moments from the royal tour. They had done a separate engagement and were away from each other for like 20 minutes. And when they reunited on the dock here, they embraced each other like they hadn't seen each other in years. It was so cute. You could tell that they were trying to restrain themselves so bad. I really liked when Harry and Meghan got the stuffies from the crowd. This was the cutest reaction. Both of their faces are just so photogenic. The way that they were walking in sync, hand in hand. But then I really liked how Meghan was just holding her stomach here. She just looked so cute. This is her first pregnancy, so I can imagine all the nerves and feeling jittery and unsure and just kind of touching your stomach to reassure yourself that your baby is still there and fine. That was just a very beautiful, lovely moment, and we got to be there for it. So her Reformation dress and Sarah Flint sandals from the Fraser Island walkabout was a really cute moment. She looked amazing and he was just the doting father to be. It was really cute to watch. So then they got to Fiji for the second leg of this tour, and she landed wearing a Zimmermann dress with Tabitha Simmons heels, Stephen Jones fascinator, and a Caillou clutch. Absolutely stunning. Some people say that this was the beginning of the end as far as when they saw how popular Meghan and Harry were, but I think that this is the transcendent moment where Meghan officially stepped into royal icon status. I mean, look at that crowd. Sure, they're always happy to see the royals, but this particular royal looks a whole lot like them, and I think that the excitement there was just something that the royals haven't seen since Diana. Next up, on their first evening in Suva, Meghan and Harry attended a state dinner hosted by the president of Fiji. She picked a caped blue gown by Sophia, a brand that she really loves. She wore their red, slightly caped version for her farewell tour. This dress was tailored to perfection. And I remember when I was watching this tour live, the audible gasps from everyone around me, and you can tell the people there too, flabbergasted at how good she looked in this. With that cape, oh, get out of here. Knocked it out of the park. Earrings were appropriate, hair was glossy as F, and her makeup was just on point. She was absolutely radiant. So the next day, for a day around Suva, the Duchess wore a long sleeve printed dress by Figue, espadrille wedges by Castagnier, and a clutch given to her by local artisans. I really like the fun, playful nature of this. They gave her one of those traditional floral, I want to call it a lei, but it's not a lei because they're not in Hawaii. Let me know in the comments if you know what they call this traditional lei style garment that they draped around her neck and shoulders. Later on in the day, she went on to give a very motivational, inspirational speech to young girls out there seeking an education. She talked about how she worked odd jobs and paid her way through college, and how determination and hard work will get you exactly where you need to go. And it was just a really great speech. It was her very first as a senior member of the royal family, and she really knocked it out of the park. She capped off the visit to Fiji in a green Jason Wu sheath number, Manolo Blahniks, and her trusty Dior bag. This look was professional, it was cute, just a very good style moment for the Duchess of Sussex. Then they arrived on the third leg of the royal tour, and we saw her debarking that plane. Is it debarking? That can't be a word. Debarking? Embarking. No, D. Dude, they got off the plane. They got off the plane, and Meghan stepped out in this electric red, long sleeve, mid length dress by Self Portrait. It's so lovely. This was very thoughtful because she actually had this dress color matched to Tonga's flag. I love the little eyelet cutout detail at the chest and at the hips. Just stunning as usual. Later on that evening, Meghan and Harry attended a private dinner hosted by the King and Queen of Tonga. Meghan wore this stunning white custom-made Thea gown, a black gold trim Givenchy clutch, and her favorite pair of Birks Snowstorm diamond earrings. This in particular is just so refreshing. It's sweet, it's bridal, it's pure, the detail is insane. I just cannot speak highly enough about this look. I love the cut. And it's weird because I didn't favor that green dress because of these exact same sleeves, but I think what was going on was it was the front of the dress and the collar with the sleeves that all just kind of made it jumbled for me at first. But this dress is very clean. There's a very clean, clear vision. It's empire waist. It's just unfussy but glamorous, and I loved it. And a lot of royal commentators and watchers, like myself, were really surprised at the deja vu of how much she looked like Julia Roberts in these pictures. It was very uncanny, but there it is. So the next day, Meghan stepped out in a striped dress by Martin Grant. It was olivey, green, and white, and this was just a really sweet, very lovely, kind of a schoolgirly, kind of a librarian-y vibe. It just made sense. It was very fun, very playful, perfect for the occasion. So then they visited Topu College for their last official event on the Tonga leg of the tour. Meghan changed into a laid-back Veronica Beard shirt dress and Aquazzura pumps for the occasion. This was absolutely special. She looked radiant. It was beautifully styled with those Aquazzura pumps. The powder blue against the almost electric light blue of the dress really played well together. So I'm really glad that she didn't do like a nude heel or a white heel or any other color heel. This was just a really great style decision that she made here. Hair pulled back in her classic slick back ponytail. The royal couple then flew back to Sydney that evening, where Meghan changed into her third and really best look of the entire tour. She presented an award at the Australian Geographic Society, and she wore this stunning showstopper of a dress, a red carpet worthy gown by Oscar de la Renta. I don't know what to say. I've said it all. I have said this on so many occasions about how absolutely stunning this look is. The bird detail is an unexpected touch. The sheer mesh top with that little black bird floating around her right shoulder. And I've said this before, and I know you've clocked me on this, but honestly, this is probably her top 5 best looks of all time. This dress is very flattering. The A-line, the impure waist, but then also the tulle, the layers of volume, stunning. Meghan then sat courtside at the Invictus Games on Saturday, showing her respect for the players by pinning a Remembrance Day poppy to her Scanlan Theodore wrap jacket. And I thought this was a shirt, but it's actually a jacket. So it was really Interesting, fun, playful, again, deep burgundy color. Very unexpected choice, but really worked well. And she paired that with those trusty black Outland jeans and her Sarah Flint heels. I loved this. I really loved the earrings. And if I'm not mistaken, these are the Tabayer double horn earrings that she wore with her Carolina Herrera dress at Kevin Costner's house. So then the Duchess of Sussex closed out the Invictus Games in a style she's come to count on. She went for the chic and simple Antonio Berardi tuxedo dress and then a pair of her trusty Aquazzura cuffed heels that we spoke about last video. So day 13 of this tour kicked off in New Zealand, and she wore this burgundy belted dress by Boss, Casablanca heels, and then her Kayana purse. And I absolutely love this look too. Chic, understated elegance. That burgundy color really plays up the richness of her complexion. And other than her wedding earrings, she wore my second favorite earrings I've ever seen her wear, which are these beautiful silver and pearl drop earrings by the Australian jewelry brand Paspali. I cannot overstate how gorgeous these earrings are. They're just so unique. I've literally never seen anything like them. I think the closest I've ever seen to these were a pair of Betsey Johnson earrings that I saw quite some time ago that had the same kind of like pearl wrapped in chains moment. I cannot tell you how stunning this whole setup was. And it's again an understated, very slept on outfit. And I think because it was so short-lived, they were only getting on the plane, and then by the time they got off the plane, she was wearing something else, but this is immaculate. So then they got to New Zealand, and she debarked. I'm pretty sure it's debarked, dude. I have to look that up. But she descended the plane wearing a plaid trench coat by Karen Walker with her Sarah Flint pumps, and underneath she wore a black maternity dress by ASOS. This is one of her affordable looks. I think this dress is like $60. So a steal. Later on in the evening, the Sussexes visited the Government House in Wellington to celebrate the 125th anniversary of women's suffrage in New Zealand. Meghan stunned in a black tea-length dress by Gabriella Hearst, one of several sustainable designers she wore on this tour. Beautiful. I have no notes. I have absolutely no notes. This is, like Harry said, this is the list. The only thing that could have made this dress any more royal and regal and delicious than it already was is if she showed up wearing a doggone crown. Meghan went on to make a very impassioned speech about women's suffrage. She is famously a feminist, and they were celebrating 125 years since women's suffrage in Australia. Perfect person to do the job. She is not there for smiling, waving, cutting ribbons. She takes her job very seriously, and she's there to empower others and use her platform for good. So I thought that this was a very meaningful engagement. I loved how after she was done with her speech, she's walking back to Harry and Jacinda gives her a little, "Girl, you did a good job." And she's like, "Okay, thank you." This was just an absolutely fantastic event, and she looked amazing. The second day of New Zealand activities was really packed, and it called for multiple outfit changes, as one does. First up, to meet a group of young people at a Wellington cafe, Meghan wore a Jack and Jack turtleneck, her Outland denim jeans, and a Club Monaco trench coat and Stuart Weitzman boots. This event also had some notable moments, including when Meghan sweetly poured Harry his drink, as well as when they were leaving, she noticed that there was some leftover food, and when she was advised that they would just throw that food away, she instead said, "Well, we didn't even touch this food, why don't we give it to these children waiting outside?" Which they then did. And this is not a new concept to Meghan. She has always been very altruistic and big-hearted. Case in point, when she had noticed some food waste from the craft food services table on the set of Suits, instead of throwing out that food every day, she convinced the network executives to go ahead and donate the food to the soup kitchen that she had been volunteering at. The Duke and Duchess then traveled to Abel Tasman Park, which required a more active look. Meghan kept the Outland jeans but swapped her heeled boots for an Adidas X Stella McCartney sneaker and the Club Monaco trench for a navy windbreaker. So then the Sussexes headed for a party at Courtenay Creative, and Meghan sported this Maggie Marilyn white tuxedo dress. Stunning. This woman stuns. Everywhere she goes, she stuns. period. The next day, the Duke and Duchess were out to dedicate an area of bush to the Queen's Commonwealth canopy, and the Duchess kept her outfit very simple: Karen Walker blazer, Lavender Hill clothing t-shirt, and rubber muck boots. Very just pulled back ponytail kind of day. Nice, nothing fancy. Then they did a walkabout, and this time she changed into a Brandon Maxwell sheath dress. I cannot clock the color of this dress. I want to call it grayish, but I don't know. It's somewhere in between white and gray and blush. I'm not sure, but it's beautiful. It's a neutral. She paired that with her Martin Grant coat and what looks like her Stuart Weitzman suede nude pumps. Minimal jewelry, just very refreshing, very elegant. I loved it. Harry looked very dashing as well. On October 31st, they rocked up to the Auckland War Memorial Museum. Meghan re-wore a Antonio Berardi navy blue halter dress with these very cute cutouts at the arms, and then her Aquazzura nude de nuevo heels. I absolutely love this look. I loved it when she paired it with that white jacket and her sunglasses, pre-royal, and that's the first glimpse that we caught of this asymmetrical hemline dress. Really classy, very beautiful. Later that day, Meghan once again turned to Stella McCartney to design a custom dress, this time for her arrival at Rotorua. She accessorized with Manolo Blahnik heels and a necklace bearing a traditional Maori design made from New Zealand jade. Very simple, very clean, true to her style, very crisp. And they gave Harry a necklace too, and they both look so cute holding hands. And this brings us to the last day of the tour, and Meghan did not disappoint. She rocked up to the last walkabout in a custom Givenchy set, blue pleated skirt with a blue quarter-length top. This was very unique. I really liked how the lighter blue in the pleats peeked out among the darker blues on the outer pleats. And then there was also somehow a black color illusion there, and it was also somehow sheer but not. It was just a really custom made, nothing I've ever seen before kind of skirt. It's beautiful. A really cute moment from this walkabout was that little girl who broke through the barrier to hand Meghan her stuffy and a hug. Super cute. I really enjoyed this outing, and I really enjoyed this outfit. So 76 engagements, and 16 days later, their tour finally comes to a close, with the last stop being a trip to the Redwoods Tree Walk Rotorua. For this outing, Meghan paired her skinny black jeans with her husband's Norona Oslo puffer jacket. Very low-key, very laid back, very athletic and casual. They went and observed a walkway of suspension bridges between 117-year-old redwood trees, and I loved this particular outing because against the redwood trees, both of them just looked really, really tiny, and I did get a sense of appreciation for nature and how much in awe they must have been in that natural environment. You don't really see that in London. You don't really see that in America. Well, we do have that in America, actually. We have those giant redwoods. So it was a wonderful tour. They wrapped up looking fresh, looking casual. Meghan being pregnant and taking on 76 engagements in 16 days. I am unsure of why she didn't win some kind of award when she got, oh wait, never mind. Ah, poor Meghan, she really went through the ringer. But this was a wonderful tour, and I am really happy to have covered it with you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what was your favorite dress on the tour. I loved the De La Renta. Nothing will ever top that for me. But let me know what was your favorite down in the comments below. Please remember to be kind, and I'll see you next time. Bye.